All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome again. We're so glad that you could join us for today's webinar, Catholic Healthcare Ethics in a Confused Culture. This webinar is especially for high school students and parents who want to better understand foundational principles of Catholic bioethics, principles that future leaders in medicine, science, and ethics will need to know, live, and defend, especially in today's rapidly evolving medical landscape. A faithful understanding of Catholic healthcare ethics is super vital. We're joined today by our friends from Catholic International University, an online Catholic university focused on helping students grow in both faith and knowledge. Whether students are preparing for college through Catholic IU's early college program or pursuing emerging technologies, theology, liberal arts, or business and ecclesial management, Catholic IU provides a flexible and supportive learning environment grounded in the heart of the church, very much like our community here at Kolbe. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our guests from Catholic International University. Please welcome Dr. Jozef Zalot, a faculty member at Catholic International University and staff ethicist at the National Catholic Bioethics Center. Dr. Zalot will guide us through how faithful Catholics can navigate real-world medical dilemmas while upholding the dignity of the human person. Following his presentation, we'll also hear from Dr. Anne Brodeur, Chair of Liberal Arts and Education at Catholic IU. Dr. Brodeur held a doctorate in medieval history from the University of Toronto and has spent nearly 2 decades teaching in Catholic higher education. She'll share some more about the broader dual credit opportunities available to Kolbe students and how Catholic International University is preparing the next generation of Catholic scholars and educators. As a reminder, all of our attendees today are in listen-only mode, and we encourage you to utilize the Q&A module, usually on the bottom of the webinar, to ask questions as they come up. Our team will be available to answer these questions during and at the end of our session as time permits. As we always begin our events at Kolbe, let's start off with a prayer. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. All glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. And with that, I'd love to pass the torch on to Dr. Joe and Dr. Ann to share more about the university. Thanks for joining us today, guys.
Well, thanks, Josh, and thank you, everybody, for joining us today. What I'd like to do, I'm going to share my screen here. Josh asked me to do 2 things. One is to give a little overview of the National Catholic Bioethics Center, and then talk about a course. It's an undergraduate level course that we at the NCBC are offering through Catholic International University to high school and homeschooling students, for which you can earn college credit. So I hope that's of great interest for you today. So just really briefly, because I know a lot of people are not aware of the National Catholic Bioethics Center, or NCBC, as I will say, people have referred to us as the best kept secret in the church, and maybe in some ways we are. So just from our mission statement, you can see right from the beginning what we seek to do. So the mission of the NCBC is to provide education, and that's key. That's what I do. I'm the director of education here, but provide education, guidance, and resources to the church and to society to uphold the dignity of the human person in healthcare and biomedical research. That's what we seek to do, thereby sharing in the ministry of Jesus Christ and his church. So that kind of gives you a quick overview of what we seek to do. And it's really education, guidance, and resources. That's what we seek to provide to the church. So what are we? Well, basically, we are a think tank. We're a group that is dedicated, as we said previously, to provide guidance and education and resources in the healthcare and the life sciences, specifically from the Catholic perspective. Founded in 1972, I always like to say we were founded a year before Roe, and we're still here. So that's a good thing. And we're located in Broomall, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Philadelphia. But for just for general knowledge, we're in the Philadelphia area. We have a staff of 20, and as far as I know, we have the most full-time ethicists of any healthcare think tank that I'm aware of. And you can see our crew here. Just pointing out John DiCamillo, our brand new president as of January 1st of this year. So I'm really excited to have John on board. People may also know of Father Tad Pacholczyk. He is on TV and radio and all over the place. So he is one of our ethicists as well. We also have our part-time ethicist. Sorry, my phone is going off. We have Marie Hilliard. She's one of our retired ethicists. Diana Krett used to be with us, more so than she's now. She is now the head of the nursing department at Ave Maria University down in Florida. And Sarah Denny L'Oreal, she's one of our personal consultations ethicists, and she does our lectures on human sexuality and fertility awareness. So Sarah's a great resource as well. So what else do we do? What's our purpose? And kind of mentioned it previously, our purpose is to promote and safeguard human dignity from conception to natural death in healthcare. And we work with a lot of different organizations and seeking to do that. We are faithfully Catholic. We adhere to the moral teachings of the Church, and particularly the ERDs, which are the Ethical and Religious Directives for Catholic Healthcare Services. It's a document put out by the U.S. bishops, and it's a foundational document for how healthcare should be practiced and delivered here in the United States, and we adhere to that. And again, what do? We help people to try to understand and apply Catholic teaching in the healthcare and life sciences. It's not just what does the Church teach, but we try to really help people understand why it teaches what it does, and then what this means for practical healthcare decision-making. And we have 3 primary activities, and I'm only going to focus on the last one here today. But just really briefly, we have a 24/7 consultation service, so people can contact us, and they do, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they ask us anything, beginning of life, during life, end of life, you name it. People ask. We get somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 consults a year. So we do handle quite a few of them. As far as publications, we have a number of books. We have a number of guides, end-of-life decision-making guides. We have a quarterly journal. We also have a monthly newsletter. So we have a number of publications that seek to educate people as to Catholic teaching in terms of healthcare. But what I'd like to focus on here is really our education. I'm the director of education at the NCBC, so obviously this is my area of primary focus. And just a few of the things that we do, so to get a taste of what the NCBC does. So every 2 years, we have a bishops' workshop. So we invite U.S. bishops, or we invite bishops from the U.S., from Canada, from Mexico, the Caribbean, and then Central and also into South America now too. And we've been told that outside of USCCB meetings, our workshop is the largest gathering of U.S. bishops, again, outside of USCCB meetings. So we invite them to come every 2 years, and we give them an update on various issues that are going on in terms of healthcare. We also have a certification program. This would be maybe not for high school students necessarily right now, but maybe in the future. It's a graduate program. You can earn graduate credit, and we actually have educational partners, including the University of Mary and Holy Apostles in Connecticut, that students who do our certification program, that's the first year of their master's program. We also have 2-day seminars that go along with the certification program. We have those all over the country. We have a chaplain program for people who want to learn more about the ethical and religious directives. Our ethicists are available, and we travel all over the place for interviews and presentations. And our website also has a number of really, really good resources that people can draw from. So on our website, ntbcenter.org, there's a tab for topics in Catholic bioethics, and you can see what the NCBC has written in church documents about a whole number of different issues. We have our Making Sense of Bioethics column, that's Father Tad, and we also have our podcast, Bioethics on Air. But the thing, again, that I really wanted to focus on is a new initiative we started about a year plus ago, and it's our outreach to college student, undergraduate level college students, high school students, and homeschooling students. And really what it is, it's an undergraduate course called Introduction to Catholic Healthcare Ethics. And it's a semester long, we do it in the fall semester, a 16-week long semester course that's fully online. And students who complete it, including homeschool students, you can earn 3 college credits through Catholic International University. So that we did a pilot last fall. We learned a lot of good things, and we offer we're offering it again in both in the summer session coming up and as well as in the fall of the fall semester coming up as well. So that's the new initiative that we have. Like to, if I could, just show you the course. You can see it. So this is actually the summer course that we're offering with Catholic International University. It'll be essentially the same course in the fall, but the modules will be numbered a little bit differently, as you'll see. So it's Theology 270, Philosophy 250, Introduction to Catholic Healthcare Ethics. And just so you can see the topics, we'll just hit the modules over here. And for those of you who have done online learning, this should look familiar. This is the Canvas platform. But you can see what we'll be doing. So we began the course, over a little bit. We began the course talking, doing some foundations in Catholic moral theology. And then we move into the ethical and religious directives and, as you can see, principles of the patient-professional relationship. So what are the foundations for making good healthcare decisions from the Catholic perspective? Just again, so you can see, here are the modules for the course. We start off talking about, again, some of the foundations of Catholic morality, go into the ethical and religious directives, the principles of the patient-professional relationship. Then we get into some of the topics really that through our pilot, we did it with a Catholic school in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The students gave us input as to the topics that they wanted to see and those they wanted to see more highlighted. And we're, in terms of the church's teachings on marital love and sexuality, and then how that relates to issues of contraception, natural family planning, and fertility awareness, particularly fertility awareness for women's health. And that's where Sarah Denny Lorio, who I mentioned earlier, she comes in and she does a wonderful job with that. Then we get into questions of when does human life begin, human personhood, talk about the abortion question, pregnancy complications questions, assisted reproductive technology questions, all of these, a number of the beginning of life issues that are really kind of hot button issues today in our society. We then move into gender ideology, talk about so-called transitioning and Catholic approaches to it and Catholic responses to it. And then we talk about, then we focus on end-of-life care. So as you can see here, some of the questions: medically assisted nutrition and hydration, feeding tubes, euthanasia, assisted suicide, and organ donation. So these are the topics that we talk about. And then just how the course is set up. Each module is set up the same way. So you can open them up here. So each module is set up, it has learning outcomes, lectures, readings, and a test. So the learning outcomes obviously is, what is it that we're going to be studying in this particular module? So you can see for the first module 1A, understand what Catholic moral theology is, its foundational tenets, and particularly the relationship between faith and reason, right? So you can see these and see exactly what it is we're going to be studying. After that, we have here we go, the lectures, right? So we have video lectures. And then what we also have with them are my lecture notes, right? So I give you my notes with them. Coming back to the readings, and the same thing, right? All of the readings are here. Click on the readings and they come up. And there's review questions. Now I point out the lectures and the review questions because that's where the test questions come from. All right, so each week there is a test, which is not going to come up right now because it's not open, but it's locked until May 23rd. The true false multiple choice questions, and the questions from the test come from the lecture notes and they come from the readings, right? So that's the basic setup of how the class works. You'll notice that for the summer, it's module 1A, module 1B, 2A, 2B. That's because we're taking the 16-week course and doing it in an accelerated format into 8 weeks. But when we do the regular semester-long course, module 1A will be module 1, module 1B will be module 2, and it'll go on for the various 16 weeks. So the reason that we put this course together is that, and you can see here's the front page here, but the reason we put this course together was that we realized that there were a number of Catholic high schools, a number of Catholic homeschooling networks that, although very good and very solid academic programs, maybe didn't have the opportunities to offer their students courses for college credit. And so that's why we made this, we've established this partnership with Catholic Distance University, and we're looking to, we're looking to make this available to as many students as we possibly can, including Kolbe students. So that's what I have. I was told to be quick, and I am quick. If people have questions, I'm more than happy to take those. And
Sure.
go from there.
I do see some questions in the Q&A right now, Dr. Zalot,
Sure.
for you. The first one is, how old do you have to be in order to apply to the NCBC? Do you have to
Well,
have a certain level of educational degree?
for this particular course, I'm assuming.
Yes, yes. I think that's what they mean, or
Yeah.
maybe just to the NCBC in general to take the various seminars that you mentioned. I'm assuming that's what they mean.
Oh, okay. So there's a couple different things going on here. So,
Mhm,
so the course that we just talked about, just to be clear, it's an undergraduate course that we're offering with Catholic International University. We do the academic part, and CIU does the, the administrative and everything else. As far as taking that course, it's really it's probably best if you were junior or senior level in high school, and whatever that translates
mhm,
into in terms of a homeschooling course. As far as our other our 2-day seminars and things like that, anybody can do one of the 2-day seminars. And anyone could actually do our certification program as well. However, if someone wanted to transfer those credits to one of our academic partners for graduate credit, I would assume they would probably have to have an undergraduate degree first to be able to do that. But those programs are available really to anyone. But this particular class is really focused on junior and senior level high school students.
Yeah, and the next question is very similar or related to that. It says, what age do we have to be in order to take the theology summer course? And I think, for Catholic International, we require that you be 16 years of age or a junior or senior, as Dr. Zalot has indicated before. Part of that, it has to do with the sensitivity of some of the course material, and just the age appropriateness of it. But that's our general policy across all of our early college program courses, with the exception of Latin. So for this particular course, yes, you have to be 16 or a junior or senior. And then the rest of the questions have to do with the cost of the course. And it looks like these are questions that folks want to have answered offline. And we do have some of our admissions counselors who can answer those questions in the chat for you here in the next minute or so. Let's see. Also, Mr. Beckman dropped in the chat more information on their partnership, Kolbe's partnership with Catholic International. So any other questions for Dr. Zalot? Okay, I'm not seeing any. So yeah,
Okay.
I think we're good.
Well, I'll hang out, and if anybody else has any other questions, I'm
Yeah.
happy to respond.
Okay. I would like to say, that from a perspective of a university professor who reads applications to university, it's always helpful to see young people who have demonstrated their interest and really worked hard in these dual enrollment courses. It always helps, boost your profile for applications to universities, particularly if you're interested in the medical field. Um, it's also a really good way for you to test out, like, is this something that I'm really interested in, that I would want to do, as a career, as a life calling? Am I comfortable dealing with these sorts of issues and these kinds of questions? And so if you want to give it a test, you want to give it a try, I really encourage you to take Dr. Zalot's course. So good.
I don't see anything else. So
Yeah.
I had a couple questions here. Maybe I can lead discussion on this a little bit. Just for a lot of our our students here that are watching.
Mhm.
What makes Catholic bioethics different from maybe like secular approaches to like medical ethics? What is there a difference? Is there a strong difference? Do you have any thoughts on that?
yes, in short, there's a lot of different there's a lot of difference. Um, yeah, I mean, certainly from the Catholic perspective, and this is, we talk about this actually in the first week of the course, Josh, is, from the Catholic perspective, moral theology, it's the marriage between faith and reason. All right. So it's our capacity to reason, our God-given capacity to reason that's informed by our faith. And actually and that has a lot of different, a lot of implications for healthcare. What we found from a secular perspective, and a lot of people tell us this, and we've seen it as well, that if you take a healthcare ethics courses from a secular institution, basically it's going to be this principalist approach, which is make sure I get them all right. The four things: beneficence, non-maleficence, autonomy, and justice. And really, the biggest starting point for secular bioethics is autonomy. And whatever the patient wants, you give the patient whatever they want. And from the Catholic perspective, while autonomy is obviously very important because we're responsible for the decisions that we make, and in order to be responsible, we have to have autonomy. But there are other, I would argue, more important principles in terms of respecting the dignity of the human person, the common good, and really understanding and respecting Catholic anthropology. So all of those things come in, and I would argue that the Catholic perspective is much more holistic and much more challenging, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions or tips for young people to start considering, discerning the medical field, etc. Even man, other than maybe taking the course, etc. Do you have any suggestions on them for as they discern?
I think, and this is going to be kind of hit or miss depending on where you are in the country, but I know that there's a number of Catholic healthcare institutions or systems that have programs for high school students. So I used to live and teach in Cincinnati, and Mercy Health there, they had a program where they would actually, I think they called it like the Medical Explorers program. And they would actually have students come in, whether it's like once a week or once a month or whatever it was, and introduce them to various areas of the hospital, and give people an introduction as to what the medical field is like. So I would encourage students, if you're interested, to look into your local Catholic healthcare institutions and see if they have a medical explorers or something similar to that.
Perfect. What are with you being in this industry, what are some more of the pressing challenges that you think we're seeing on the scene these days that some of our students that maybe we didn't have to worry about as much before, that they can kind of start preparing for those conversations and what that future may hold?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I think there's the beginning of life issues, which we always have, but I think some of the things that are really at the forefront of conversations are questions surrounding what can you do for pregnancy complications. I mean, basically the abortion industry will say that if a woman is pregnant and she's diagnosed with X pathology, whatever that may be, that no, don't go to a Catholic hospital because they won't treat you. And it's like, no, that's but how do you navigate treating women who are pregnant who have very serious pregnancy complications associated with the pregnancy? So that's a big one. Certainly the transgender issue and all of that is ongoing. Hopefully that is, I'm hoping that in the next few years that we will wake up as a society and recognize, what that is. But really one that's an issue that's really it's not on the horizon. the big issue of discussion within Catholic healthcare right now is the determination of brain death, particularly for organ donation. There's a lot of questions about whether the American Academy of Neurology's criteria for determining brain death is actually accurate, and whether, is someone actually dead when we're procuring their organs, right? So that's an ongoing, that's a very important discussion that's happening right now. So there's a lot of stuff, Josh, but those things.
Yeah, and maybe kind of go into, maybe it's obvious too, but maybe why it's important for us Catholics to be representing, healthcare and leadership and policy making.
Oh, I think it's important, kind of going back to what we said before, is that from a secular perspective, healthcare ethics is very utilitarian. What's the greatest good for the greatest number, and that's where people come off for, or that's their starting off point. Or their starting off point is autonomy, as we mentioned before. Like, okay, how do we make healthcare decisions? How do doctors help patients make good healthcare decisions? Well, you give the patient whatever they want, without asking any questions or anything else. And so from the Catholic perspective, what we seek to do is ask those deeper questions in terms of, first of all, what's the nature of what's happening? How does this impact you as a human being? How does this impact us what does this say about society when we do X, when states legalize assisted suicide so that medical professionals who are supposed to heal are actively involved in patients taking their own lives. What does that mean for society? Whereas there are many people in secular medicine who think, a part of a healthcare professional's job is to help people kill themselves. So
I think it's really important when you're considering as a junior or senior, which school should I go to, that you're considering programs that give you a really good foundation in Christian anthropology, as Dr. Zalot mentioned before. So what are those courses? Certainly theology, but also philosophy of the human person, theology of the human person. You really need to have a solid background in these things before you step into those ethics classes. So when you're surveying these programs, you need to make sure that they've got a really deep foundation to help you step into these more complicated areas of ethics, of Christian and Catholic ethics. So I don't know, Josh, if you're okay with it, I can talk a little bit more about the other classes that we offer to students as dual enrollment opportunities.
Absolutely. Take it away.
Yeah. Okay, great. So some of the other courses we offer Sociology 101. This is a really helpful dual enrollment course to introduce you to the basics of sociology, but from a Catholic perspective. It takes into account Catholic social teaching in how we think about society and social questions. So this is a really different take than you're going to get from State U down the road. So it's a great course if you are a student who's interested in thinking about questions that impact society on a larger scale. Healthcare is one of them. Sociology and healthcare are the kinds of things that go really close together, hand in hand. The other courses we offer, if you're interested in languages, we offer Greek. So if you want something to complement your Latin studies at Kolbe, we also offer Greek courses as well. We offer logic, also another really important critical skill for thinking about really tough questions. So we offer that. We offer also mathematics for liberal arts. And then we offer a course that I teach called Liberal Arts 200 Principles of Liberal Education, Principles of Liberal Learning. So we'll teach you all about the unity of knowledge and the unity of truth, and how all of these disciplines help to reveal the mind of God. The deeper you study ethics, the deeper you study sociology, mathematics, logic, the more you come to see the mind of God. So we've got a whole suite of courses that you can take as dual enrollment courses through our partnership with Kolbe Academy.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, any questions about Dr. Zalot's presentation or any of the other courses?
Yeah, feel free to use the module, the Q&A module if you guys have any other further questions. And then next steps, I mean, for them, for those that are interested, I would think that it'd be great for them to reach out to the admissions team over at catholiciu.edu, and they can do that via the link that we put in the chat a little earlier today. And then we'll also be sending a copy of this recording to everyone that attended today with more information, et cetera. But look, just having a conversation with their admissions team is a great way to really hash out any questions that any more details that you have about dual credit, et cetera, and just the school in general. And I encourage you to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, just one more thing that I think would be helpful for students to keep in mind. While Dr. Zalot's course is a 16-week course, most of our courses are 8-week courses, intensive courses, so you can take more than one in a semester. So we often have students, who will take one 8-week sociology class, and then they'll take another, 8-week course to complement their other studies. So just to keep that in mind as you're thinking about planning for next year. Most of our courses that I talked about that aren't Dr. Zalot's course are just 8-week courses and not 16-week courses. Yeah, we offer education from the heart of the church. We offer it asynchronously. We're very similar to Kolbe in that we have a variety of ways that you can engage a course. Our faculty are very available to our students to help them through the course or to answer any further questions. And so if you're familiar with Kolbe's pedagogy and mode, you're very already familiar with what we do at Catholic International. We've been offering online education longer than anybody else. And so we've got a lot of experience at it. So we look forward to seeing you in some of our classes.
Absolutely. It is true. I mean, it's almost like if for those that have really been enjoying just the environment that we have here at Kolbe, online classes, online community, et cetera. I mean, this is just a natural transition, for higher education.
Yeah.
And, if you're just really loving that in that environment, this is just a great opportunity to look at either offsetting or just for joining for a full program, et cetera. Super exciting. But anyways, I think that includes our time with our guest today. We hope you enjoyed today's webinar and learned more about Catholic International University. If you do have any further questions, though, don't hesitate to reach out to the admissions team through that link. They're very happy to guide you, in further conversations about the university. And again, thanks everyone for joining us today. We wish you the best, and we are definitely praying for you and your continued discernment in your college journey. God bless everyone.
Josh.